Hello everyone, this is Faruk and you are at Revpanda Live. If you run a fintech company, a payment solution or an iGaming operation, you had the crypto conversation already probably many times. Today I brought in two executives who can actually tell you what to do with it. One is building the infrastructure layer that lets financial companies go live with full digital banking product. The other is running commercial operations at Europe's largest crypto exchange by traffic. And what makes this episode so special, these two companies just teamed up. Together they are essentially offering a complete fiat plus crypto stack. We are going to talk about it today, and we are going to connect it to an industry that many of you know very well, which is iGaming. Let me introduce my guests, Ivan Sharov, CEO at Crassula, and Vlad Malsev, CCO at WhiteBIT. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's a great pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for having us. Thanks a lot.
Gentlemen, we are in Madrid. It's my first time actually in the city, and I know you are actually located in Spain, right? How is the life in the country?
Well, quite nice. Actually, I studied in Madrid, and I hope you're enjoying it. I live in Valencia a lot as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, glad to be here again. I think it's a great place to meet, at least.
Exactly, and you also live in Valencia,
Yeah,
right?
I live in Valencia for the last 4 years. Yeah, it's such a good place for living, and like Valencia in the a list of the top ranked cities in the world for the quality for the living, and it's like differently true.
And also your trips to Barcelona must be also special
Yeah.
right now.
yes. Like,
And there's a reason for it, right?
yeah, so I'm more often going to Barcelona than Madrid, but like I enjoy both of the cities. Like they are a bit different, but each have like such a good energy and very welcome to the people.
Yeah, for our audience who may not know it yet, WhiteBIT is an official partner with FC Barcelona. So that's why I was telling that it should be a special trip to that particular city. Gentlemen, before we get into business, I want to start somewhere personal because I myself first time heard crypto back in 2017. You remember that legendary bull run, of course, and everyone was trading cryptocurrencies. There was a big hype, and they also wanted to add a mission in it. So they were saying like, well, I am in it for technology. Well, sure you were. But yeah, so I just wonder, how did you encounter the crypto space? Please tell us your own story. Maybe, Ivan, we can start with you.
Yeah, I think it was around 2017 as well. I still remember the hot market, almost vertical growth. There were two types of users, those making ICOs and those purely trading. The thing that surprised me most actually was the operational part. Projects were raising millions on a white paper, still struggling to provide with a wire to their developers. So a lot of capital, almost zero operational infrastructure. Interesting time.
I got it. Yeah, I remember those times, the hype and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2017 it was Wild West. Yeah, and now like since like almost 10 years gone, so like crypto start more regulated, more institutional and stuff like this. I'm personally joined to the crypto in 2020 when I joined the WhiteBIT. Yeah, but heard about the crypto really first time in 2017. I remember how we discussed and looking for solution how to buy crypto in that time. Yeah, like as usual hamsters on the first bull run. Yeah, but it was such a good time.
Absolutely. And things were so different back then. I remember crypto companies wanted to look like banks. They wanted to have regulations. They want to look serious and trusted at the same time. Now, banks want crypto capabilities. Gentlemen, what changed? What actually, happened over there throughout those years?
Maybe I can take this first. I think there are two things. First, regulation. Second is operational maturity. Back in 2017, crypto projects wanted a bank like Revpanda to look legitimate. They had the tech part. They didn't have yet licensing. They didn't have compliance flows. They didn't have banking partners. So it was mostly cosmetic at that time, right? And now banks or licensed institutions are looking at crypto because their customers have it. So it's not aspirational anymore. It's defensive.
What's your take, Vlad?
Yeah, I think like yes, it's the correct point. And like the banks now more look into the crypto because they feel pressure. And like from my personal opinion, they still see some kind of competition between like crypto and traditional finance and traditional fiat currencies. Yeah, but now they understand you know, they can't didn't look to this side anymore. They need to run faster because like if we take a look on the market perspective, yeah, I think for the last 3-4 years at least, like each banking group having a head of digital assets or some group of the people who work in banks with the digital assets, but they still a bit struggling. Yeah, I think it's the main blocker is there also like for them it's a didn't understanding of compliance procedures. Yeah, but what I can say even like on the perspective of AML and compliance, like crypto growing very fast and very rapidly implement different solutions of tractions, some AML scoring and stuff like this. We have like a huge gigants on the market like chain analysis, elliptic, which one are searching market very fast activate some wallets which like have some risk scores and stuff like this. Yeah, and I think it's more transparent if going across to the, let's say, the banking circle. Yeah, because like let's say if crypto moves from centralized exchange or some regulated platform to the non-custodial wallet, then market with some issues and then go to another one, it's immediately you can see it and you can act to stop it very fast. Yeah, banking system I think like still have some gaps. Yeah, with the traditional fiat payments and stuff like this. So crypto in this sentence, even on the compliance side, really more rapid.
I'm definitely in for that peer-to-peer and this centralized option. I personally, for myself, I don't want another entity between myself and the person that I'm doing the transaction. So I hope one day this is not going to be the case again. So I want to turn to the demand side. Ivan, I would like to talk to you about the thing that you just mentioned. You said that clients are actually asking for it. So it's not like the companies see it as a competitive advantage, but also their clients coming to them. So can you please elaborate more on that part? It's quite interesting.
Yeah, sure. I think there is a sequence. Demand from users create this urgency, and then competition follows. 3 years ago, a fintech project could exist without crypto. Now, it is probably a competition lost on the first day of comparison. I would actually add the third layer of it, which is revenue or monetization. Financial institutions understand that they are living on the table fee margins if their customers go elsewhere for crypto.
That's true. And I see that this is actually happening in the United States. So some companies, some banks are actually turning to crypto. They're adding that into their infrastructure just because the demand is getting really, really high in the market. And Vlad, flipping to the infrastructure side, you work with a wide range of institutional clients looking at the market. Today, I was wondering, can you tell that crypto adoption is actually happening?
Yeah, I can differently say it because like now from the last researches that I read a couple of weeks ago, so almost between like 18 and 22% of all European users, like all European peoples who have like a bank accounts and stuff like this, yeah, they have already attached with digital assets. So it's already like a big part of the market. Yeah, and crypto start to be also like a big revenue driver. Yeah, because like if you talk about, let's say, EMI business, yeah, so everyone today give you a card, bank account, but you need to have also add some value to the client, and also you need to work better with retention. In crypto, it can be a solution where you can work with retention better. And on the other hand, you need to give like a whole spectrum of crypto, yeah, because like some institutionals still provide, okay, so you can just buy and hold and take a look for it, but it have like more opportunities and like more needs for the clients.
Especially the stable coins, and their use cases right now even American banks, again, with the new president, he's not very popular recently, but he actually encouraged it. And we see that there are lots of financial institutions in the United States. They are like investing in stable coins right now. So that's quite, I think, interesting. And it is showing how the future will look like. Not only that, as you say, it's going to be a wide range of products, hopefully, in the future. And Ivan, Crassula actually sits in a very interesting position between banking infrastructure and crypto infrastructure. How do you explain the company briefly to somebody like myself outside of fintech industry?
Well, I'll try at least. So Crassula is, first of all, it's a fintech, is a software company that turns a license into a working financing product. Let's imagine a picture where there are three pieces: a license, a bunch of providers you prefer to serve your clients. It could be a card issuer, it could be a banking rails, it could be a crypto exchange, and your final product, the end user will interact with. So Crassula sits in the middle. The formula could probably be your license plus the providers you prefer plus Crassula equals your final product. And the beauty is that it could be shipped in weeks instead of months or years of development or preparation. So that's what we do.
And I saw that you also have lots of modules over there. So can you also tell us more on that?
Yes, thank you. We do have, let's say, 5 pillars we stay on. And the first is obviously core banking functionality, accounts, balances, transaction ledger. The second, cards, issuing and processing across the schemes. The third is our application, web and mobile, fully customized and white labeled for our clients. The fourth is crypto, obviously, from ledger, from custody to wallets, and compliance, which is a kind of a backbone recently, according to the regulators across the world. So it could be taken as a stack. It could be taken independently, each of these modules, depending on the needs of our clients.
I see. So maybe we can just put this in a kind of a use case, Ivan. Let's say a fintech comes to you tomorrow. What can you build for them without they actually do a lot of work with the infrastructure and all those painful steps?
Absolutely. A fully working financial or digital banking product with multi-currency accounts, cards, mobile and web applications, crypto ledger in full, and compliance on the background. So everything that it sits in between, let's say integration with card issuer or configuring your compliance flow, is on us, while you are focusing on the things that matter, like customer acquisition or your brand or your monetization. So we take, let's say, this boring or infrastructural stuff on our side to make you available for the things that matter for your business.
Well, we can actually say Crassula makes life easier for fintech companies, and that's going to be one sentence.
Definitely so.
Wow. Well, also, like we were talking about 2017, like almost 10 years ago, nobody was calling a crypto exchange an infrastructure company. You know, exchanges, they used to, compete on trading fees and payers and some products around these things. But now they are becoming infrastructure companies. They are selling APIs, custody, liquidity. Also, they're helping with compliance to their clients. How has the role of exchanges evolved from trading venues to the full-scale infrastructure providers?
Yeah, we are having a huge journey because like immediately when I joined, I working differently with B2B clients. So we are started in 2020 and we are build it layer by layer, step by step. Yeah. So if in the beginning you can just like use like deposits, withdrawals via API and trades as liquidity. Yeah. So for now you can build a whole product around crypto space in case you can improve like some Lombard loans. Yeah. If you wish to add to your clients. So also you can add our yield as a service solution. Yeah. And you can build inside the crypto space, you can add different layers of product and of course the compliance side, because we also like, as we are focused to the B2B clients, our team oftenly having a conversation with the client team. They recommend something, also like make some introduction to the providers as well, yeah, who can help with the different parts. And it's a big thing. And also what I would like to highlight, we have a fully separate team who work in with financial institutions, with B2B clients, from support team till account management, business development guys, and stuff like this, yeah, who understand their client's business, yeah, because like when you, let's say, all your journey focuses to the retail side, and now you need to change a road and going with the B2B clients, it's a very difficult complication, yeah, because you need to understand the also client challenges, yeah. But we have like such a great expertise on this side, and we are trying to go in deeply to the client case, understand what can be a pain points, what the backdoors do we have, yeah, and trying to build together with the client a strategy how we can really smart implement solutions what we have and what he really needs.
Vlad, what you said about institutional companies, the yield part is so crucial because if you look at the treasury side of companies, actually they would like to use the extra cash that they have got. You have some products over there also to make money over it, so they don't need to go through banks, pay fees and so on. They can actually make their money, at least not lose money with the inflation. So that could be also some product to add there, right?
Yeah, for sure. We are trying to build one-stop shop for the financial institution, for the businesses who would like to start their journey with crypto. And so we are trying to help them to find all necessary solutions, what they need.
Right. And you work with over 1,300 institutional
Yeah.
clients worldwide, a lot of B2B clients as well. And probably you have seen everything in the market, like when it comes to, all the opportunities or all the mistakes. So I want to ask you about the common mistakes. So imagine there's a, B2B company, they're looking for a crypto provider. What they need to look at, what are the, let's say, major points that they need to consider apart from the pricing?
Yeah, so they need to find good partners who help them to implement solutions. Yeah, because like if they go in with the wrong team, they can struggle in on the implementation for a couple of years, spend a couple of millions, and still stay in one place. Yeah, but if they decide on good partners, really technical partners on the crypto space, like who provide them a really opportunity to grow their business, and they can start it faster. Yeah, because like in a crypto, it's a really fast changing market. Yeah, so like each quarter or each 6 months, you have something new what you need to implement and stuff like this. So like it's very hard to run in like some project for the 2 years of development, and then we will go to the live. Yeah. So in crypto, you need to be fast and very flexible. So you need to look to the partners who give you this opportunity.
Absolutely. And also when we go to, let's say, any iGaming event, Vlad, you have been probably many of them, there are lots of companies that are claiming that they provide the crypto infrastructure. What makes WhiteBIT stand out as a long-term infrastructure partner?
It's a lot of things. Yeah. So firstly, we are trying to really, as I said before, we are trying to understand what customer exactly need and trying to help them with our experience and with passion, deeply explain how we can build it together. Yeah, and also like through our service and through our team, we provide them our solutions and build relationships and give them such a high level of SLA of capacity of our services.
And what you said, the human factor over there as well. Right now, everything is going to AI direction, AI agents, and so on. And you said at the beginning, you help your clients with dedicated account managers. They're staying on top of everything. To me, this is really important. Recently, I'm, bored of like talking all the AI bots and everything, guys. So I think that is something really extra that I would take. And Ivan, especially for fintech startups, you said that it's really painful trying to do all the infrastructure themselves, and there are lots of steps to take over there. So I think it is just like lots of time and resources lost over there. So this is where you help. So what mistakes do fintechs do when they try to build themselves banking plus crypto infrastructure themselves?
I would probably name two mistakes. They are super typical. The first is underestimating the integration scope, volume, and count. Let's say an crypto exchange API could look quite straightforward and easy, but then you go deeper and you find wallet, you find settlement, you find yield services, you find compliance flows. So there are multiple integrations, like 4 or 5, multiple providers quite often. If you look at, let's say, traditional market. The second problem or mistake I see there quite often is planning compliance flow as like one of the last things to implement and to organize. I see that currently your bank provider will not allow you to go live without having a stable and specified compliance flow. So I would definitely recommend to plan in advance.
Especially when it comes to compliance, timing is so important.
yeah.
Definitely, I agree.
I would like something add, like when we talk about like a different currencies. Also, what all the time confusing people who are not from crypto, it's a mess of the different network. Yeah, even for stable coins, at least we have like 8 network and stable coins. And for the people who never touch crypto APIs, they like look to it like very confused and how we can count balances and stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, I remember first time that I was doing those transactions, I had to be so careful. I'm looking at the screen, checking it a few times if it is the correct one, Ethereum or something. So yeah, I remember those days very well. Gentlemen, WhiteBIT and Crassula recently announced an exciting partnership. I think back in December, if I'm not wrong. Together, you deliver seamless crypto solutions to fintech platforms. Crassula handles the banking orchestration while WhiteBIT handles the crypto engine, and a client gets both through one integration. So that's the actually best part to me, looking from the outside. It really sounds like in iGaming we say turnkey solutions. Like it's like a turnkey crypto solution for fintech company launches. Would you please tell us more on these partnerships? Maybe we can start with you, Ivan.
Yeah, sure. From our side, this partnership between WhiteBIT and Crassula actually solves a specific problem licensed fintechs have. Before, if you wanted to integrate or to have a crypto layer, crypto functionality, a real one with a deep liquidity, yield options, institutional level of custody, you had 2 choices. The first, to build it yourself, spending 12 to 18 months, more or less, or integrate 3-4 different providers and try to orchestrate this mess afterwards. So what we did and what we are doing now with WhiteBIT together, we are trying to collapse it into one coherent solution that allows user from WhiteBIT side to get the liquidity, the yield, the custody, and from our side, this orchestration layer and providers as well. So it's a one product, one customer journey, a single, like you said, a turnkey solution for the sector.
Yeah, so you need to manage, like you have like less operational cost, you need to manage less relationship between the counterparties, and you need to make and you already have a technical integration, yeah, which one like give you like a one-stop shop with the people who really understand your business. And also like, I think it's give you some speed bump, yeah, so you can start more faster and create first traction better.
In a world, as you say, like crypto, which things move really fast, that time advantage is so important. So you already just go further a few steps with this integration of 2 great companies. So I think that's also something for especially startups with the funding they need to consider. And also, I'm sure right now our viewers, they actually have some, ideas on their end, and I want to make these things a little bit more clear. So, for instance, let's say somebody comes to you from our industry, a B2B client, let's say, and they love the integration, one product approach, as you were saying, and they would like to work with you. Where do you think your future clients will see impact after this integration? Is it going to be the acquisition side? Is it going to be the retention, like you were saying, Vlad, or maybe operational efficiency?
I would say it depends on the stage of the business. For early stage startups, for high growth businesses, acquisition is king. So there we're talking about adding crypto, actually getting better with your funnel and consequently turning on the additional acquisition. If we are talking about mature fintech or a business with the customers already in place, there we're talking about revenue per user that increases and about churn that has to be lower anyway because they do not search for any other provider. They can solve everything in one app or in one product within the same provider for them, for the same interaction point. And the operational part, the operational efficiency, I think it's something usually overlooked because it's not a marketing fancy number, but at the end of the year in your P&L, you will notice it. You will see the side of the headcount from engineering team, from operations that you didn't need to spend on, thus proceeding with the flow with our partnerships and with our product.
It's impressive. Vlad, what's your take?
Yeah, so also like as Ivan said, yeah, on the different stage is different for the business. So like on the one stage, it can be like you can make a lower cost of acquisition of the new client when you add new product. Then you can play with the retention part and like scale up it with the yield as a service. So like for the more experienced clients who already have some earnings in crypto, yeah, to keep it with you and didn't take a look for the different platforms and stuff like this. And also like involved huge area of the digital nomads, yeah, a huge area of the people who working in crypto sector across the different jurisdictions and also like working in iGaming, because also like I think now it's a time when it's really a lot of people start getting payroll in crypto, yeah, and it's important since, and I think for the organization who even still didn't touch some cryptos, it can be a point to think, okay, so maybe we should use, yeah. And also like it's important for the organization who have like a fully remote team, yeah. So since COVID time, we start more and more relocated, remoted in the different type of work. So the crypto is a kind of glue which one can help you on the operational side put all together.
I also think, Vlad, that especially in iGaming industry, the operators, at least, who do not offer crypto, I find them a little bit like, outdated. Come on, I mean, we are in 2026, so let's do something modern. So I think that also gives that, good feature to those brands, right?
Yeah, for sure. And also like on the market now, like if you talk about like some treasury part and some more specific solution, so it's already start to be in companies who provide some solutions. So if you have a blended treasury between fiat and crypto, so you can put all together. It's also a strong signal about like it start to be in a big part of the market and like really it's a market request.
Yeah, and also for companies, like when we think from the B2B point of view, fast conversions with like low cost, this is so important. As you say, like for the treasury, you need to be super liquid in this market, especially in iGaming. So that's a good point as well. Talking about iGaming, Ivan, you work with plenty of institutions from fintech space, but also iGaming brands know you very well, your services very well. And you know the industry very well. So we have lots of challenges in this industry. For example, many banks decline gaming transactions. Chargebacks are really costly right now. Cross-border payouts are slow, as we know that. So all of them together, they cause player retention issues for operators. What do you offer for the iGaming brands, and how can Crassula help operators fix those problems?
Yeah, I think iGaming is probably, if not the hardest, but has one of the hardest payment situation and infrastructure at the moment. We help on the Crassula side as an operational layer. First of all, the first example I have is rerouting. When we have multiple providers and you have a transaction that has been declined or cancelled by, let's say, one provider, it can be automatically rerouted to the other one, thus making this payment happen and getting the user satisfied. The second option, the second point is directly connected to our cooperation with WhiteBIT, is multi-currency and crypto wallets that allow deposit and withdraw funds in the manner and the form that users prefer generally. So it's lower friction, it's more protective in terms of the infrastructure and the transactions.
Yeah, it is as easy as reading a QR code right
Absolutely.
now, doing crypto transactions.
Yeah.
So definitely lower
Yeah.
friction over there. And Ivan says that crypto solves a lot of problems, Vlad. So I saw a recent data I want to add on top of it. 83% of US players want crypto payment options. So this is really something big in my opinion. And let's say that, Vlad, you meet an operator and they only offer fiat option on their brand. What would be your arguments to convince them to add crypto to their platforms?
Yeah, the first things I guess is like the zero chargebacks. Yeah, because with crypto chargebacks it's not possible. Yeah, I think like of course you can make some disputes, but like it's still processed manually, so it's not automatically as usual with the banks, and you don't have like this such a 180 days to think about it. Yeah, and on the other hand, like we have a solution which call it like WhiteBIT Pay. So when verified clients who pass KYC, who already like pass all the due diligence, with whom you can be sure like the crypto is clear, yeah, they can deposit to your platform, and you really have like such a good traffic also from this payment method on your checkout, where you can sure you get the like white crypto.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm actually really excited, about our industry, how they are going to, reflect this partnership. But maybe just to guide them better, can you tell us, like with few sentences maybe, what does the WhiteBIT and Crassula partnership mean for the iGaming industry specifically?
I would say it means that we are not in the project mode, but it's a reality, and it's a big switch. To put an example, previously, if a payment provider wanted to integrate to have crypto, they wanted this layer, they needed to integrate with a crypto exchange, they needed to build a wallet, they needed to create and build a compliance flow. Again, 12, 18 months, a huge burden, a huge risk at the same time. Now it's a matter of weeks, and with this cooperation, with this style, it's quite easy. You plug into Crassula, you have a connection directly with WhiteBIT, for example, and you can literally configure it on your side. So we are talking here about the switch from a custom development to a configuration. So the economics changes absolutely for those who can launch crypto and how fast they can do that.
I love how you said it, like it's not an idea, it is the
It's
reality.
it's the reality
Yeah.
already, yeah.
And Vlad,
Yeah, from the other side, like it's also very fast. You're passing the KYB procedure, which one take a couple of weeks. Then you already have an API integration on the Crassula side, so you just need to go to the dashboard, create an API keys, give the permissions, and pass to your team for the operational, and so integration is done.
wow, that's really impressive, guys. We talk about the past, like the early adoption times. We talk about fintech and iGaming industry. So I would like to also talk about the future. Ivan, you are a very experienced executive in the market, both in the fintech space and the banking and the other, industries. What are the trends you observe in fintech space now, and what do you think the future will look like?
I would name probably three trends I see quite often, and I see that we are moving there. First, fintech generally is consolidating around these orchestration or platform models. I also believe that soon we will not be seeing so much these all-in-one solutions. Now institutions prefer to have these modular infrastructure where each layer is dedicated to a specific provider. So the companies that in the next 5 years, the companies that will pick a layer, do it better than anyone else, and will be exactly focused on ensuring that it could be cleanly integrated for the others, for third parties, will win. So that's number one. The second is that compliance becomes a core infrastructure layer. It used to be like a provider or just a function, but now regulators across Europe, the UK, MENA, Canada, they expect fintechs to have compliance embedded and fully embedded. I think it's a huge change. And probably last but not least, and it's exactly about crypto. So crypto becomes invisible, not unimportant, but invisible in the sense payment rails became invisible like 20 years ago. When users now tap a card, they do not think about Visa rails and how it works. The same will happen with stablecoin rails. And actually the fact that we are talking about crypto as a specific or some kind of a different segment says a lot, that we are not yet there, that the infrastructure is not done yet. So I think our partnership is maybe small, but a step towards this logic where we make the crypto done, and it has to be there.
The future really sounds exciting from your point of view. Vlad, you had a chance to observe the market very well, because I know last month you attended Paris Blockchain Week, and you even spoke to Bitcoin.com during the conference. You mentioned something super interesting for me, the financial supermarket era, where users expect every asset class, from crypto to tokenized stocks in one app. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I think like now it's the really era of the financial super apps where you can really expand everything, and also like the companies as Crassula give opportunity for the businesses launch it, because like you can also go to, let's say, B2B supermarket to the distributor of the solutions, yeah, and they provide you connectivity to the different layers, yeah, which one you can, like as in Lego, as the models, like take all what you need and set up in one place, yeah. And also like crypto and blockchain technology in general give it really speed bump, because like we can see on the cross-border side, yeah. So like if before, like with the Swift, like cross-border takes like 3-5 days, so now with the crypto you can do it at least like in an hour, yeah. And more on the side, why 1 hour? Because like it's still in a gap on the banking side. When you make an internal transfer between those accounts, then you send a blockchain transaction which can take like 2-3 minutes. Then again, you're making a bank transfer, yeah, and you move money across the world. Yes, you still have some FX part and stuff like this, but it's already a big layer of the speed, yeah. And as well as I said during the Paris Blockchain Week, so like now also like a Euroclear till end of the year would like to implement the same for the stocks, for the clearing part, because now for clearing part, when you buy some stock, it's take 2-3 days, business days, which one is important, yeah, to move some stocks from the broker name to your name and back. So, and now we imagine, so like the stocks will be migrated via blockchain, so it's a public or private blockchain, but like it's very fast and very competitive. And also I think like the traditional exchanges will go to this side more deeply. They start provide, I think, solutions maybe 24/5 or 24/7 for the beginning, yeah. For some of them it will be very complicated, yeah, because also like of some compliance issues and stuff like this. But in the crypto sector, as we already said, like the compliance also very progressive, and it's already like a lot of things where when companies implement on top of some blockchain stuff, AI and stuff like this, so analyze it very faster information and have like an adopted risk profiles, because also like on the compliance side, it's a lot of changes, and it's not like a couple of years ago, like when you have one model which want to work like for the couple of years. So now you need change it faster.
I see. Well, I think so. I guess this is where the market is going because I personally, follow the exchanges and the new products that they are bringing to the market, and I love the idea that tokenization of assets, mainly stocks. So that's actually really great thing. I remember, like, I think it was 2020 around that time. Link, one of the I think crypto assets, they came at that time, and everyone was so excited about it. And JP Morgan CEO, who was so against,
Yeah.
all the crypto and everything, I think they also started some kind of a tokenization on their end too. So like this is really interesting how people are changing right now with their opinion as crypto is getting stronger.
Yeah, they already like, as I remember it correctly, they already deployed one tokenized fund for 100 mil. So it's a big step, and like they changed their position very rapidly, like.
Right, right. Ivan, you follow the market also from the regulation side, both in Europe and globally. So how do you see where are we heading with the crypto regulations in general in the world?
Probably we are getting closer to the situation where crypto, first of all, is understood by the players. Second, the regulators, already, by the way, in Spain as well, know exactly what to do with it and know quite well the infrastructure, the base of the system, and then I truly believe it will be embedded in our daily life the way we have currently a normal, let's say, payments embedded. So I strongly believe we are to face this change in upcoming 2-3 years. I'm not talking about some kind of a distant future.
I see. And WhiteBIT already has, I think, all these licenses. Like recently, Mika, I think you already acquired, right? So how do you look at the regulation side?
Yeah, so what I can say, yeah, so we have a huge group, like which one operate like from US to Australia. We have like companies in Turkey as well, here in Europe, Georgia, also like start expanding Latin America. So what I can say, like each country is trying to standardize regulation. Yeah, and like the big challenges now in Brazil, for example, they take a look for the MiCA framework and start implementing something the same. Yeah, for example, inside Turkey, you have like some travel rules,
Yeah.
which are also like kind of surprise, but it also a part of the standardization. So I think like the part of the travel rules, it will be soon across of the world in each jurisdiction. Yeah, and like as you said about the U.S. president, yeah, after his election, in general, like it started to be a bit easier for the governments to change their vision about the crypto, change after the SEC, change their position about the crypto. And it's boosting, like really regulation boosting crypto in general. Yeah, because like when you have not Wild West, when you have like understandable regulatory framework, you can build relationship with the different financial institutions, with the banking partners, and like everyone understand their responsibility. Yeah, it's all good also from this perspective view, because like a couple of years ago, like crypto was be like very high risk, yeah, because it have like a huge gray areas, but now it start to be more regulated, more institutional, more compliance people involved with, and it starts to be more understandable for the end users from one side and from the government from the another side.
Exactly. And as we have more regulations coming in, as Ivan was saying, that probably market will adopt more and it will be more trusted, like you just said. So this is the future I'm also looking. So let's see how it's going to look like. Gentlemen, we covered a lot today. We talk about what it takes actually to build a financial product with crypto inside, not just as a feature, but as real infrastructure. Ivan explained how Crassula gets the whole thing live in weeks, not months. And Vlad told us what enterprise crypto infrastructure looked like from the WhiteBIT side. And we connected all of it to iGaming today. Ivan, Vlad, thank you. This was a very useful conversation for anyone in the audience thinking about where crypto fits into their business, how they can implement it. And thank you for joining me today and sharing your great insights. Do you have anything to say to our audience, especially those who would like to introduce crypto into their stack?
First of all, thank you for inviting and thank you for this fruitful conversation. I would probably underline two things. First, the infrastructure layer of fiat plus crypto is solved. It exists, it works, and it ships in weeks. So if you are still trying to build it from scratch, you are spending on solving a problem that is already solved. Please do not waste your time and money on it. And second, the partnership model is the right model. I don't believe we will have any company, any project having all the instruments, the liquidity, the license, the crypto, the UX, UI, the compliance in one place, inside, let's say in-house. But rather, we will see these layers and these providers on each side. So that's what we are doing with WhiteBIT now, and that's what we will be doing. So thank you again.
Thank you, Ivan. And Vlad, what's your message to our audience?
Thank you for the inviting. Yeah, so as Ivan said, so just build a partnership, decide the right partners, don't waste your time and the budget, and make decision fast, and you will have a success on the crypto space.
Thank you, gentlemen. It
Thank
was
you
a
very
pleasure for me today. And everyone, thank you for tuning in. And if this episode changed your mind about crypto, I would like to invite you to get in touch with Crassula and WhiteBIT. You'll find the details in our show notes. And once again, follow us on our social media. And as always, I will see you all at the next Revpanda Live session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a city in the heart of the Baltics where the streets remember centuries of stories, where old stone walls meet summer light, and something in the air makes you want to stay a little longer. Every August, the iGaming world finds its way here. Not for another conference, not for another stage and another slide deck, but for something special. Real conversations, new partnerships, and a full 2-day agenda designed for the people who move this industry forward. Where iGaming meets your perfect summer getaway. Meet operators, affiliates, and decision makers. Not across a conference floor, but over lunch, on the water, and under the lights. Build partnerships, create memories. Expand your network beyond the conference walls. One city, an experience built around the moments that actually matter. ACE Alliance Riga, August 6th and 7th, 2026. Come for the business, stay for everything else. Secure your pass now.